There we go. See, I had a bio and everything. We're a well-oiled machine here at Wordslinger's Way. It's 11 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. So, Tom Cassidy has been a prolific fixture in the underbelly of the avant-garde. Visual poetry, mall art. See how well prepared we are. Mail, art, and small press communities for 50 years. He co-founded the Impossibilist performance troupe in Oregon, has served on the boards of Patrick's Cabaret and MTN, and is currently on the Rain Taxi review of books and cheap theater boards. He has incorrectly assembled over 10,000 collages on purpose. Please welcome to the stage, Tom Cassidy.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, morning. All right. My day off. My day off, I sleep in 20 minutes, don't shave. That's what a day off is all about. Make strong coffee, do the dishes, glue a broken knick-knack, answer mail, and sing with my canary. She gets all puffed up and warbly. I watch TV, build a boat in a bottle, shoot the mailman, put away the shoes. My day off, I take a bath for a half an hour. Don't dress for human contact. That's what a day off is all about. Dust the shelves, wash the clocks, catch up on magazines, and teach the canary how to yodel. But it doesn't sound right. But not the way yodeling doesn't sound right, a different way. I patch the roof, write a book, fill the bird bath, lose 10 pounds. My day off, I reheat leftovers that still look okay, eat with wrong-sized fork. That's what a day off is all about. Take a walk for sunflower seeds and beer, both of which I split with the canary. She likes the beer, but after 2, she staggers off her perch. I work on a drawing I've neglected for months, remove an alien homing device from my knee with tweezers, blowtorch, whiskey. I groom a hedge and dig a tunnel out of here. My day off, I take a nap and levitate. Watch my body snore and labor in the thinning air. That's what a day off is all about. I gather branches in the yard. Canary stores them in her cage's basement for kindling, for the day I die, for my cremation if I die first. If she dies first, I'll stuff her head, keep it in my pocket like a marble. I trap a bear, finish a poem I don't think is finished, answer door, and beat up Walter Mitty. At work, my gums evaporate, my skin tightens, my brain drips out in happy handshake talk. I push buttons and do tricks, and I get a medal for not fucking up too much. The thing is, you have to play the game. You have to play hard. You can't let all that talk about not playing the game distract you from playing hard, or all that talk about not playing hard distract you from playing the game, because on game day, you have to show up. And not only do you have to put on gear that makes you look like a transformer, you have to hear that you're not playing the freaking game hard enough for a crying out loud, bring me my steroids. But really, the thing is, you have to play like you mean it. You have to be focused. You can't let all that talk about not playing like you mean it distract you from being focused, or all that talk about not being focused distract you from playing like you mean it, because on game day, you gotta bring it. And by it, I mean the kill instinct. By the kill instinct, I mean you have to be willing to pound, pummel, and pulverize without saying, excuse me, every damn second. The 3 Ps, people. And people isn't one of the 3 Ps, people. And there's no group known as 3 Ps. People, focus. For crying out loud, the 3 Ps are pound, pummel, pulverize. You have to think like a winner, which sounds tricky and even crazy-ass, but there it is. You have to play the game. Maybe catch a few breaks, who couldn't use a little luck? Remember that golden retriever that played basketball? And when Lassie won the gold medal in the 200-meter backstroke, and those ducks that played hockey, and that one movie with Kevin Pollak and what's-her-face who pretends to be a guy so she could be a quarterback in the NFL, why the hell can't I get somebody like that? I mean, you have got to get back to the damn basics. And by that, I mean in addition to pound, pummel, pulverize, if somebody is throwing you the ball, you have to make an effort to catch it. Maybe run a little faster, maybe backpedal a bit sooner, maybe remind your Sunday tickled brain that it's game day. Maybe jump 30 freaking feet into the damn air because Lassie isn't available right now. That's what it's going to take, that and playing the game. That's my sports piece. Woo! But it sounds like every sport. Watch for some nice poems coming your way in December 2030. Someday when I'm smart, when I read the books I own, when I learn to listen better, when I sharpen wits on what instead of why, someday, when I figure out what that line means, someday when I'm smart, I will comment on radar, argue with scientists about a gravitational glitch in Bemidji, and I will mock uplifting poems. Someday when I'm happy, when I get over my inability to fly, when I throw away a lot of the books I didn't read back when I was smart, when every day seems so much like a holiday that I fire shots in the air all the time, someday when I'm happy, I'll feel good about killing old nuns wearing purple. I will hire people to do my smiling for me, and I will read uplifting poems. Someday when I'm saved, when I burn my books and shut up so loudly vowels drip from my eyes, when I overcome my personal wretchedness by reaching into the mirror and trimming the alien's mustache, when the steam of hell has cleaned me of parasites, someday, when I'm saved, I will annoy you even more than I do now. I will jackhammer you and your pagan canary into sober salvation or else, and I will recite uplifting poems. Someday when I'm old, when I lie about who and how much I've read, when I forgive people for telling me awful news about parts of me still working, when I can't remember which pictures I drew or which I bought at the dollar store, when I wonder why all those people I yelled at over the years won't come and visit me, someday when I'm old, I will look at photographs differently and listen to beautiful music. I will wear a purple sweatshirt that says, I love your fucking guts. And I will write uplifting poems. Here's the loud one. Oh, were those loud? It's called Sorting the Mail. Oh, when you mentioned mall artists is probably right, but mail artists is true, and I've been corresponding with artists around the world since 1972, and I have about 45,000 pieces of mail, poems, zines, pictures, postcards, scribbles, paintings, objects, ephemera, personal notes from artists around the world. And the mail is me. My mailbox is a museum. And I think what's why I'm still involved in it, I still am, but only with about 3 dozen people a year. I used to exchange with over 100. When I first got into it as music master, the name I still use, nobody knew who was who. There was no gender, there was no race, there was no religion, there was no age, there was no economic bracket. You had a name, and your interaction with like-minded people around the world, and it took a while to find them, but you do, was based on the art. And that's what still keeps me going in correspondence art. Okay, sorting them out. I get in bed and close my eyes and try to think of nothing. But my nothing gets too busy. I can hear the stars. I'm wide awake. I go downstairs to organize the mail. I put magazines and catalogs in one pile, letters and bills in another, and announcements for events like Naked Hamlet on ice in a third. I go to bed and close my eyes, then realize I'm wrong. I go downstairs and put the letters with the catalogs and magazines. I create a bills only stack. And then I make a pile of the pain in the ass art shows I probably should go to just to keep the fucking peace. I go to bed and close my eyes and count the sheep. They look like wolves in drag. They complain about the job. They wake me up. I go downstairs and drink a cup of milk, a quart of beer, a fifth of gin, a 2-liter bottle of Listerine, I think it is. It could be Mr. Clean, I'm not sure. I take several multivitamins made especially for writers. They contain predicates, niacin, samuricin, bebop, rum, strychnines, red dots, opiate adverbs, spam, bar, brawl, bonus, horse, spit, 9 volts, and 50 times the amount of salt that's in the sea. I drink a bottle of cough syrup with a label that says, not for human consumption. I go back upstairs to the medicine cabinet and I dump out all of the older pills from amber plastic tubes and I grind them into powder. Then go back downstairs to make a smoothie. I mean, all of them are out of date. What could they possibly do to me? Make me happy, pain-free, energized, and drowsy? All at once? I would fucking love that! Because of a piece I saw on Channel 4, I roll up the linoleum and smoke it. Something about the bacteria that breeds in waxy buildup. I light it using the handy pocket blowtorch that's in the Swiss Army knife-like pocket tool I got when I joined ARC when I turned 10. I see angels on the clouds that I exhale. And I notice that the clouds are merely costumes worn by devils, and the devils look like writers. They complain about the job. The pocket tool also has a knife, a fork, a stapler, a dolly, a root cellar, a person to put out there on Lindale when you really need someone to hear you. Do you know how hard that is in civil conversation? And I simmer, flop, and throb, and grok my eyes hum. I wonder, as I'm sure you must wonder, whenever you try and juggle a bungee jumping for a helicopter and a tornado spinning flaming hail the size of baby fists, I wonder why the hell isn't there a better way to sort the fucking mail? I'm wide awake and realize I'm wrong. I go downstairs and stack the mail according to size. On top, there's a postcard from a wildlife cartel asking if I received the ugly address labels. On the bottom are the new issues of Slime and How to Sedate Yourself. In between are letters from writers I don't understand, postcards from artists I can't decipher, artworks from friends who make me seem sane. I think that I'm wrong, but I don't care. I go outside and stand beneath the moon. It's 3 a.m. No slamming dog or barking door a block away, just quiet and loud, still and fast, like something momentous might happen. The sky might explode. My skin is vibrating. The silence so tight, I hear 666 pins drop. My inner peace is not at peace with anything. I do not feel a oneness with the universe. I barely feel a oneness just with me here below the surface, a million miles from heaven, a final rung. Before you ditch the ladder, all the words and all the books. But I realize I'm wrong. I'm wide awake. I go downstairs to sort the mail. Oh, that was inspirational. Somebody's tearing up. All right, I'll do one more. God is mad at me. I go to the dentist to patch and plane a molar. He numbs me, crams a scaffold in my mouth, sculpts a statue of himself into my tooth, makes his butt half the size it really is, then bills me. A lot of problems follow. It wasn't, in fact, my mouth. 2, the rest of the statue, the part that is in his condensed butt, doesn't look anything like him. And 3, worst of all, because of the dentist, I have to go to the dentist again. God is mad at me because I take his damn name in vain, like he of all things or beings or entities can't be bigger than something like that. I'm in a bookstore hosting open mic for emerging and submerging poets living out their better poems. The store forgets we're here and sweeps around us, rings out all the tills, dims the lights, and locks us in. A lot of problems follow. 1, it isn't in fact a bookstore. 2, the tills reveal that the $2 decafs continue to outsell nonfiction. And 3, worst of all, because of the bad treatment, the emerging and submerging poets don't suspect a thing is wrong at all. God is mad at me because once when skipping church, I caught him at Bolero hiding out. When he saw that I knew him, he turned red as the devil. I hire a guy, credentials up the chimney to re-roof our house. He rips off the shingles and dances for rain, which booms through the ceiling and washes away all my stuff, all my sins. A lot of problems follow. 1, it isn't in fact my house. 2, the rain dance has an instant replay function, so my roof leaks all the time. My forehead is eroding. And 3, worst of all, because of our new roof, my drowning continues to bother me. If I die from all of this, bad moon, bad rhyme, bad luck, it's because of God. He's mad at me. So if detectives ask if I had enemies, tell them, no, but God was pretty mad at him. His fingerprints too big to lift. Thank you.
Stay. Stay. I want to talk to you for a minute.
Oh, wait. Oh.
All right, let's keep it going for Tom Cassidy.
Calm down.
Oh, it was great. Oh, yeah. A mini Tom Cassidy concert is not what I was expecting from this morning, but I was delighted to have it. I was just reflecting. I've been reflecting this whole weekend how jaded I've gotten over the course of this pandemic in terms of and how just how for granted I was taking live performance and like being in a room with another human as they're saying words to me. But one thing I wanted to talk to you that just leapt out at me watching you perform. You're obviously like a super physically dynamic performer, and I'm probably fixating on it because I've been working on transitioning to books and page writing,
Right.
And there's always this feeling like something is lost for me since I've developed all of my work on stage. I wanted to ask how you feel when you publish something as opposed to performing it. Is one more real to you or more fully realized than the other, or are they just like totally different things?
Well, first I want to say, like you, I've been involved in different theater-related activities, and while at Patrick, and you kindly were part of that, I think I was involved in over 250 shows as something, performing, hosting, stage managing, selling, sweeping up, whatever the hell it was. And I hosted open mics for 25 years, and I've been with Cheap Theater now, though we haven't had a show in a year and a half, for about 20 years. So to me, and I do open mics or things that are going on, and people ask me to attend Summit House and some of the other venues. And it's been horrible to not be live with people. You know, the idea, oh, what a great boom, we're all smart on Zoom now. Oh, the wonder of the fucking world. It is not remotely the same. And that the continued hustle for you to get an act for the fact that you used to have people there and instead can communicate as effectively as live. Might I also add, while avoiding your question, I'm new to Facebook. I don't drive, I don't wear a watch, I don't have Instagram or any of that crap. But I went on Facebook to eat up some time so I could write things. And that got me writing again. But the interaction with people is absolutely terrifying. More so, I think, because I get reminders that this is all passe for you. Oh, it's Steve's birthday today. Which is, well, fuck Steve. Fuck you, Facebook. If you know enough about me and who I know and with whom I'm connected to tell me it's Steve's birthday, fucking tell him happy birthday for me. Why engage me in this robotic process? I'm not remotely essential to what it is doing, appropriating, taking, stripping us of, and invading our privacy. So I don't know how long I'll make it on Facebook, but I write those things, which is the bulk of what I've been writing the past 3 months, mostly about books, whole sci-fi books. And it's nice to get response. But, and one of the reasons I like mail art, the human interaction of people taking pen to paper and not group emailing. I never do that. If I have a show, I individually email. I don't have a group. I want to, at least for a minute, remember that person. Think of that person. There's a person on the other end. Not 500 that I assembled through Patrick's Cabaret mailing list or something like that. And the email, I think, started the downfall. Not just the vocabulary, because then you get Grammarly, right? You get spell check, and it puts in words that you don't even know, and it's telling you it's right. And it just changed how we communicate. You probably remember, you get a lot of emails that seem too terse, maybe brusque, maybe incomplete, maybe out and out rude, and that is the new common denominator of communication. So, with all that being said, I like writing. But even with posting and writing again and doing a lot of stuff, it's not remotely as rewarding. And this isn't the room, but you've done a lot of bars and clubs, and I worked in a bar for many, many years. I love that. I love it. Give me a halfway. Hey, come on. I just love that real interaction, that real visceral feel of people getting up in a town square and going nuts, hoping they'll change the world, and unaware that they won't, and that's kind of charming as well.
See, I'm gonna poke at that for a minute, though, because I feel everything you're saying. At the same time, we're both still on Facebook, and we're both still using it to try to communicate. So, and I think a lot of us have been struggling with this ambivalence over the past year and a half. So when this first started, and we started doing Zoom shows and live stream shows, I remember there was a lot of controversy over what to ask people to do with their mics, the audience.
Oh.
And there was this feeling like early on, like, oh, have everyone turn them on, and then you can hear audience response. And that's not audience response. No. That's like people tittering to themselves scattered in a room. It's not like a crowd response to what you're doing. But at the same time, so I have all this frustration, but I'm grateful for it. I don't know what this last year and a half of my life would have looked like if I didn't have even that way of reaching out to communicate with people. So I can't bring myself to hate it entirely, even though I kind of do.
Yeah, well, I don't know that it is the thing specifically to hate, but it's overall corrosive and indicative of what's going on in a bigger sense of the word. We hosted, Rita Dove, one of the great poets, 2 days ago, and George Saunders, who was nominated, he got National Book Award. And we had an event with him, and it was he did it just for ANCAPs. It was a fundraising event, and we had only 50 people, and you had to be invited and be at a so-called breakfast table in a virtual world, so I had 10 guests at my table. And we got to ask him questions about his writing. And this is what bothered me. So not only are you trying to pay attention, they have to send them aside, oh, hi, welcome, thanks for coming in. Joe has just gone to your room. So he reads a piece that's just brilliant. He's such a good writer. Arguably the best short story writer who's ever lived. Close to Donald Barthelme. I mean, just sheer genius. And he reads this beautiful line, and suddenly everybody's chattering. Oh, what a marvelous line. Oh, what an insightful. Yeah, do you want to know what the rest of the line is? Maybe you could pay attention for more than 10 fucking seconds and not pick up the phone, look at this, take a selfie, show that you were at the event, tell Tom, stop complaining. So that's the thing that gets me. So it's not specifically, yeah, I'm doing it. I mean, to some extent, I retired, my world ended. 40 years of knowing 1,500 people almost on a monthly basis, at least they're gone. So not having that time and Oprah is not having that time every day to interact and check contracts and sales and all this other stuff, I really needed to go to Facebook. It took all of 2 hours to realize what a horrible mistake I had made. And yet I hang on to that, like the cliff that we're hanging on to. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's something.
Are you one of those people when this ends, like the day that's like there's going to be an armistice day or something, where it's just announced over? But like when at some point in the future, this will not be our daily reality anymore. Are you one of those people that sees yourself? Do you plan on just like lighting a match and burning this whole social media presence and walking away from it, or do you see yourself still trying to?
I think, sadly, in the name of efficiency, and the most popular human engineering device since the MMPI test called traction, which is being instilled in businesses all over the country to get you, well, to be your best human. And they sell it to you, and you'll ultimately be rewarded with a Starbucks gift card. This is our new America. We're told we're part of a team, and we're not. Oh, did I read that wrong? And you're contributing to something where, yet again, they're exploiting you even further. And the efficiencies we've learned, that I would say most retail and commercial space is going to be 50% vacant. It hasn't even peaked because people aren't. If we realized where I work, we didn't need 14 offices. 7 of the people never come to the damn office at all. They don't need to. You can do accounting, these other things at home. So I think it's just that sheer sense of efficiency that I'm a better person. Oh, I don't want you to steal my identity. Oh, I have an app that protects me. I don't want them to know whether or not I give you penicillin. I have an app that protects me. I don't want them getting my bank account. Oh, I have an app that protects me. So we ourselves are part of a society that's increasingly narrow in terms of interaction with the bigger world, and proud of the accommodations we've made. So sadly, yeah, I'll be hitting every event as soon as they start again. Cheap Theater is supposedly September 18th. Who the hell knows? But I don't know, and our audience is generally aging, at Cheap Theater at least, that most people will come back. Yeah. I mean, it's a sad reality, but I will write uplifting poems.
All right, let's keep it going for Tom Cassidy.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, I'm so glad you were here, Tom. This morning turned out to be a bit of a mess, but honestly, I am so pleased with this outcome. My mini Tom Cassidy concert is something that I was not looking for, and I'm just so pleased to have had. Thank you all for checking out your abbreviated morning Reboot concert. We've got shows running through the rest of the weekend. Our next show, as a matter of fact, right here at 12:30 is the Not So Silent Planet, which is an open mic dedicated to sci-fi, fantasy, supernatural horror. If anyone in this room has been noodling away at a novel or short stories that you'd like to read a 5 to 7 minute excerpt of, our sign-up sheet's right out there, and I'm sure we'd all love to see you back here. But otherwise, thank you for rolling out of bed at 11 a.m. and coming here to listen to angry, uplifting, miserable, hopeful, hateful poetry. Thank you.